Never work with stupid people, or it may just cost you your life. Looking up at my assistant, watching as the skin on his hand melted away. We were chemists for the Department of Defense working on a brand new chemical that was supposed to be more corrosive than any other known chemical, for the purpose of destroying dirty bombs. A massive oversight by the deputy director had put me and 6 other people in direct jeopardy by switching the lead safety officer at the last minute for a dumb kid whose only qualifications were legacy hire unquote. Nothing we ever said to this kid stuck. We always had to go around behind him, making sure things were safely stored. It all came to a head one day when he didn't switch the pressure tanks correctly, and failed to switch the regulator on the new tanks. For ones that haven't been used, we ended up pressuring tanks with old seals, full of corrosive liquid gas. When the alarms went off, he claimed it was fine, because he had done the switch himself. When they went off again for another reason, he bypassed the critical function alarm and subsequent lockdown. Then continued. The tank was noticeably under duress, but he had an assistant, against her wishes, try and move it to storage. Before she reached it, it exploded, shot across the room like a powerful missile, spraying corrosive material everywhere. My assistant barely pushed me out of the way at the last second, before I was hit with the projectile that this idiot had caused. Looking back up as my assistant's arm started falling off, his skin melted away to nothing but bone. Then his bone started to crumble. I noticed him look me dead in the eyes. Before he fell, his arm wasn't the only place affected by the corrosive material. Kicking my shoes off and ripping my other clothing off that had gotten covered in the material, I noticed that other people in the room doing the same. A few weren't so lucky. The dumb kid who had already ran and was nowhere in sight didn't help. Somebody ended up pulling the safety alarm and the room was flooded by some type of foam. I woke up later in hospital, the nurse telling me how lucky I was to be here. Sometime later I found out the safety officer had checked himself out to avoid court-martial. I guess the thought of his negligence and the shame he had brought to his generational name was too much to bear. So never work with stupid people. You may not be as lucky as I was, and you could fall victim to their folly at any time.